Hey creative, what's up? It's your girl Jamila and welcome back to my lab tour. You guys, we just got our Siser Juliet and we're already putting her to work. Today I'm going to walk you through on how I use the Siser Juliet to make this beautiful rhinestone shirt. Of course, everything I use will be listed in the description box of this video. So if you like this video, you learned something new, please give it a thumbs up, share with your friends, and make sure that bell notification's on so you don't miss any of my upcoming craft tutorials. Okay, creative, so I'm starting off in the Leonardo Design Studio and we're going to go ahead right here and hit design. Now I'm going to go ahead up here to file and I'm going to import my design. This is this is a design that I did get off Etsy, and of course I'll have it linked for you guys in the description box as well as everything else I use for this project. Now for our import options, we're going to select edible artwork and hit apply. So you see how big this is? Don't shrink it down, okay? You don't want to resize anything because then it'll mess up the holes on the stones and your project won't work correctly. But what we're going to do is make sure it's selected and we're going to right click and hit ungroup. And we're just going to take away these yellow boxes. We don't need those. So just click it and hit delete. Now since I'm basically just going to use one long roll of flock for this, I'm going to change everything to one color so that it'll just all cut, you know, on one, okay? So I'm just going to select it, go over here to the right where it says properties, hit this little square right here, and where it says colors in use, I'm just going to pick one color and change all. I wonder if I can do it all at the same time. Oh wow, yay! So I just highlighted everything and went over there and was able to change it. Oh, look at that, I just learned something new. Uh-oh, hold on. I did something. Let me just undo that. Okay, so now I'm just going to go ahead and move everything onto this mat. Why did my two colors go back? Let me change that. Okay. And this one too, why did they? Okay, let me change. I think when I hit undo, it did that. Okay, awesome. So everything is one color and I'm just going to select it and move it over to the mat because it needs to be on the mat, because if I was to leave this right here but everything else on the mat, this wouldn't show up to be cut. Okay, so we're just going to move it on the mat. Hit cutting mat and I'm going to use a cutting mat and I'm using a 12 by 24 mat. And, well, I guess I should have did that a little bit earlier because now I have to kind of adjust where everything is. So I'm just going to move everything around, fit as much as I can onto this one mat before we go ahead and cut it out. So I'm just trying to use up as much space as possible. I'm rotating things, just trying to make it fit. And nothing seems to be overlapping. Everything seems to be on here good. So we're good. Alright, so now we'll just go ahead and hit send design. All artwork done there. Let me see. Use current mat page layout. So when you click this, this is what it's going to look this is how it's going to cut out, okay? And we'll just go ahead and hit send. Make sure that your machine is either connected via Wi-Fi or the USB. Alright, so now let's go ahead over to the cutter. So I'm using some Rocket Flock from Heat Transfer Warehouse and a 12 by 24 Cricut mat. And of course I'll have this linked in the description box of this video, as well as everything else that I'll be using. So this is a yard. I don't need the full yard, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut off the extra because we don't waste any flock around here, okay? Every piece will be used and saved. So of course I'm gonna go ahead and power up the Juliet. Oh my gosh, look at her, y'all. I'm so obsessed. I absolutely love this thing, okay? One weekend and we rocking and rolling. Not even a week. Anyway, so I'm just gonna go ahead and line this mat up with the arrows right here on the side. Then I'm gonna lift my rollers in the back so that I can easily feed my mat all the way to the back, because remember, the Juliet cuts from the front, so you need to load your material all the way in, okay? So once you do that, make sure you lock your rollers back in place, and I just use the arrows on the little screen to get like my needle as close to the bottom as possible, because remember, no flock is gonna go to waste, okay? I want it to cut as close to the bottom, you know, to get like basically, you know, use as much material as I could. Now, depending on how much of your blade is exposed will determine your cut settings, but I'm using a speed of 10 and a force of 55. And don't forget to do a test cut, okay? Make sure you do a test cut first to get your settings right, because nothing is worse than wasting material, and nothing is worse than wasting flock, okay? So make sure you do your test cuts before you go ahead and cut everything out. And look how good this peeled, y'all. Like, even when I did this project with my Cricut, I still had dots I had to like weed out myself. But this is such a good peel. Oh my goodness. I was so like, I was too ecstatic. Okay. Like I love when a project like comes together really, really well. A part of it did like get cut off a little bit at the bottom, like I was a little too close to the edge, but in the end when I started brushing in my stones, it still worked out fine, so no worries. All right. So since this flock does have a sticky back, I'm going to go ahead and use these plastic cutting mats to adhere it to, and I'm just going to place it on there and make sure it's nice and smooth, okay? I actually got this trick from Patrice from the Craftable Things, so thanks, Boo, for the little tip. If you don't have these plastic mats, I mean, you can always use cardstock, but just be very careful because these plastic mats, they can be repositionable, right? Like if I don't have it nice and smooth, I can just go ahead, peel it off and reposition it. But with like cardstock or something like that, you can't do it, all right? So that's just, you know, I like to use the cutting mats. So I'm just going to go ahead and lay that on there, trim off the extra, and then I'm just going to go ahead and repeat the process for all of my pieces. Now, since I do have several pieces, I did go ahead and write the color stones on the flock to make it easier when I go ahead and use this template again. And I'm just going to go ahead and brush my stones in with this little painter thing. Now I'm using a combination of stones from Heat Transfer Warehouse and the Baby's Booty, and of course everything will be linked in the description box of this video. Okay, you guys, this cut out so well. The template was done really well, and of course that template will be linked in the description box as well. And I was just easily able to go ahead and brush my stones in. Now, this project did take a while, I'll be honest, okay? There's a lot of cutting and brushing and pressing and all that other stuff involved, but it was definitely worth it. Now, this little tool I found is actually like a veggie chopper, but it makes picking up the stones so much easier. Like any extra stones that I have and I need to put back in there, I just scoop them up into there, and the handle is like a little tunnel. So I just, you know, make them fall down into the tunnel, and I can just easily drop them back into whatever it is my stones are holding in. I was like, yay! And so once everything is brushed, I'm just going to take the heat transfer mask and put it on there. Now, if your heat transfer mask is like super sticky, like this one was, like brand new pieces are always super sticky, I just put it on like my shirt or, rub it on my shirt or my pants a few times just so the static can go away, and then I put it down. Now, when you go to lay down that heat transfer um, paper, be confident, okay? Just line it up and put it down, because if you hesitate and you go to put it down, you can like shift the stones and then they'll be out of place and you'll have to restart the whole thing. All right, so I basically just repeated that process for all of my stones, all of my templates, all of the different colors. And I'm pre warming up my heat press. Now I'm able to store different settings on my heat press. So I'm just going into my settings and selecting the bling one. So we'll be pressing at 350 degrees for 12 seconds. And that is per the instructions on the rhinestones that I'm using. And I'll be pressing this design onto a Bella canvas t-shirt, of course, because we love Bella around here. Now, despite the fact that Bella canvas has tons of colors and that they have like the softest breathable cotton shirts ever, they are so good for crafting projects, because I've done HCV projects, embroidery projects, white toner projects, and now bling projects using like different shirts and things like that, and they take it so well. Okay, like you can use this for so many different areas of garment decorating. So they're like seriously my favorite shirts. And I'm just going to go ahead and give it a pre-press, and of course put my line down the middle so I can center my shirt and make sure my designs are all lined up. Now, you can get your Bella Canvas blanks at a wholesale price by creating a maker's account. And of course, I'll have that linked for you in the description box of this video. Alright, I just went ahead and continued layering this project. Now guys, remember this little heat transfer tape that we're using is reusable, okay? So when I peeled it off the design, I used it for the next, or I just stuck it back onto the paper that I peeled it off on so we can use it again. You can use this several times, so it's not a one and done thing, okay? Save your material, guys. Alright, so I just went ahead and layered out this project, and it is turning out so beautiful. Now this is like a senior themed kind of shirt. That's why it says like 2024 Uno we out. It's their last year. Congratulations to class of 2024. I made this for my daughter, and of course her friends are already requesting some as well. So drop a diamond in the comments if you love this video and love the way this shirt turned out. Drop a grad cap if you want to tell my daughter congratulations, or if you have your own senior that you're cheering for this year. This is a great design for them, you guys, and it turned out so beautiful. These rhinestones are gorgeous, and they bling, baby. When I tell you they bling, they bling. Okay, this camera isn't doing it any justice. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share if you enjoyed this video, and until next time, I'll see you later.